In this video, I'm going to introduce you to the work of Dorie Clark. She's a marketing and strategy consultant and an expert in personal branding. I wish I could remember the exact time and place where I connected with Dorie's work. I can't quite remember. What was going on for me at the time was that I was caught up in a really crazy, busy field, learning about internet marketing. I'd recently qualified as a life coach and I'd been guided towards internet marketing by my business coach at the time. And I was looking into this field and getting really fairly disillusioned with what I was seeing. I was coming up against ideas like the product launch, where they're using the scarcity tactic. They're putting out ideas and then putting deadlines on you sign up for this course and you've only got a few hours left and there's only a few spaces left and all this kind of stuff. And it all felt really manipulative, and I was really put off by it. I thought, this is not how I want to market my business at all. And then amongst it all, as I said, I came across Dorie, and as soon as I connected with her work, I actually unsubscribed from all the lists I'd subscribed to, and everything became a lot clearer. I realised I just needed to follow her and what she was saying, and I felt I could get everything I needed from her. Now, Dorie has the same belief that we all have a unique contribution to make, and that the world really needs what we have to offer. And she talks around this a lot. And as I said, she is an expert in personal branding. She's written a trilogy of books, and I've got two of them here. The first one is Reinventing You, and I have to admit I haven't actually read Reinventing You. By the time I came across Dorie, I'd already qualified as a life coach, and I think I'd already written my book, so I felt I was some way down the road, and I connected with a lot of her content online, but I didn't actually read that book. Another couple of books that I have read is, first one is Stand Out, How to Find Your Breakthrough Idea and Build a Following Around It. And this is really all about connecting with our unique contribution or our unique creativity, as I talk about. And then the next book is Entrepreneurial You, Monetize Your Expertise, Create Multiple Income Streams and Thrive. And there's some fantastic ideas in here about how to actually create an income from this stuff. So I know a lot of people will be very interested in reading that. Now, why I really connected with Dorie is I remember listening to her on a podcast one day, and she was talking about these internet marketing techniques, and this was the kind of thing that really helped me to connect with her. She was talking about these internet marketing techniques and people who use this scarcity tactic for signing up to their courses and stuff like that. And she said, you don't need to treat your audience and your followers like they're idiots. And I was just so relieved to hear somebody of her expertise and her standing with her success talk about that. And I thought, yeah, that's what really helped me to connect to her ideas. So I love that. So why am I bringing Dorie's work to you in this section where I'm talking about how to connect with the concept that everything we have to offer is already within us? And it's because of her work, particularly around the breakthrough idea, the standout stuff, and her talking about the idea that we have a unique contribution. And I'm linking below a link to a TED talk of hers she did in 2015, and it's got some great ideas and some great strategies. This is an example of Dorie's work. She's got some great strategies in there about how to connect with our breakthrough idea. Stuff that we can actually, practical stuff that we can actually do to help us to cultivate this idea. And she gives some fantastic examples in this talk of people who've actually done this. Now, the first strategy she talks about is how innovation rarely comes from the centre of an industry. So when we're experts in a certain field, we'll generally see things from a very kind of narrow perspective. But when we're coming out from a different perspective, from another field, and we're combining these perspectives to create an idea, then that's when you get something truly unique. And I think this is what I did with my concept, Your Whole Life Economy. I combined the principles of economics with spirituality, and these fit together really well within this concept. The second strategy she talks about is having time for reflection. And she uses a fantastic example of Daniel Goleman and his work around emotional intelligence, and how his time for reflection in creating this idea was really important. Now, obviously this is a strategy that I wholly support and talk about again and again, and I've referred to in an earlier video where I was talking about the neuroscience of creativity. But having this time for reflection and to sit back and letting ideas, to cultivate our ideas, is so important. If we want to create something that's truly unique and creative and is going to stand out, we really need to be taking that time for reflection and paying attention to what we're doing. So that's the third strategy there, is paying attention. And she gives a great example around paying attention and how a woman was tackling the goal of bringing the internet to the world's poorest people. And that's a great story. I do recommend you listen to this talk, and especially listen to that story, because it's fantastic how this woman came up with this idea just by paying attention in a slightly different way. And then the fourth strategy, Dorie talks about getting luckier. She talks about a number of successful people and entrepreneurs who talk about how luck has really contributed towards their success. But Dorie believes, and I love this concept, that we can all get a little bit luckier just by creating that kind of attitude. And she talks about how we can be really open to opportunities and develop an attitude of curiosity and humility, and again, just being open to different experiences. So have a look at that talk, and I hope it will inspire you to really start connecting with your creativity and your ideas, and something that you can really bring a value to the world. I could say so much more about Dorie. She's a thoroughly nice woman as well. I've connected with her, and she's taken time to answer questions personally of mine, and I'm really truly grateful for the attention she's given me. If you want to connect with her, I thoroughly recommend you do. You can do that through all of the social medias. Just Google Dorie Clark and you'll find her. And I think the best way actually to connect with her is to sign up to her mailing list, what you'll find on her website, dorieclark.com. It's a fantastic mailing list, and it's the one that really, when these messages come through, the ones that I do stop and always open and really connect with, because I know there's always something of value in there. And through Dorie, I've also connected with some other fantastic people who she's recommended, and that's Jenny Blake, who does Pivot, and Danny Inney of Miracy, and I've attended some of his courses as well, and I've just got great value out of all of these people. Anybody I connect with through Dorie, I've had great value from. So really, I can't recommend her enough, and I hope you'll look her up. Now, if you're enjoying these videos, I hope you're enjoying these videos, you may like to consider subscribing to my channel. I encourage you to really like the videos and to give me some feedback in the comments. It really does help with the traction of the channel, any kind of interaction I get with the videos. So please feel free to comment, tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like, tell me what you agree with, tell me what you don't agree with. I'm really happy to open up discussion, and these are my opinions I'm giving here, so I'm really happy to debate and open and learn from you as well. What have you got to offer? What have you got to say? What have you got to contribute to what I'm saying here? I'd really love to hear it. So in my next video, I'm going to talk about our potential, and I hope you'll join me for that.